Our goal is to breathe in through our nose, down into our belly. I want you to imagine that you have that PVC pipe from the back of your nose, down your spine, into your belly. And at the bottom of that is a balloon. And when you inhale, you're going to try to expand the balloon into your hips. And then on the exhale, you're going to allow it to deflate. So expand the balloon and then passively let it deflate. That is how we will be moving and guiding our movement using our breath. All right, let's inhale, bring one arm up. I'm bringing my right, and I'm just leaning over a little bit on the exhale, and then inhaling up, filling the balloon. Exhale, letting it fall, letting it deflate. And let's do that one more time. So every pose is slight movement. Other side. Inhale up. The exhale still is, you're trying to get it out through your nose so that you're always nose breathing. I forget sometimes, which is pretty common. All right, let's roll up to a downward, or to a, whatever these things are called, tabletop, so that we can do cows and cats. So inhale, drop your belly, stick out your butt a little bit, and lift up your head. And then exhale, bring your hips in, and drop your head, arch your back into cat. Then inhale into cow, and exhale into cat. Go at your own pace, but the goal is to be following your breathing. So inhale and exhale. You may find that the inhale is a little shorter than the exhale, and that's pretty normal. All right, bring your hands out. We're going to come into a downward dog. So in downward dog, the goal is to have a straight line from your hands to your hips and from your hips down to your feet, and be an upside down V. And you can see in awkward yoga that I'm more of a coffee cup. All right, so the inhale is to come up on our tiptoes. The exhale is to drop one heel. Just let your calf muscles stretch out. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring your other heel down. Inhale, blow up the balloon. Exhale, bring both heels down. Inhale, and try to push away. Push your shoulders away from the mat. Push against with your hands against the mat. That sometimes can help you bring your collarbones a little bit closer to the mat and create more of the V. Good. Now we're going to inhale, walk our feet forward. On the exhale, into a forward fold. I'm just going to turn my mat. And we'll come into a half lift, into a forward fold, all the way up, and then bring your hands together and bring them down to heart center. So we're going to do the same thing that we did while seated. So inhale, bring your arms up, then bring your right hand over. You can take your left hand, put it on your hip if you would like, and you're trying to push your hip out gently. So my hand is falling to the left, and I'm pushing my right hip out a little bit. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, come down as you're letting the balloon deflate. And inhale up and exhale. Oh, I can see my breath here in my garage studio. All right, other side. Left hand up, right hand on your hip. So it's a little chilly in here. But the whole idea is that you can practice yoga anywhere. And you can look as awkward as I do and still be getting something out of it. That's the whole point. One more time here. Good. All right, we're going to come in to do a couple of sun salutations, and then we are going to move into some low lunges and try to work on opening up our hips. So let's inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, come all the way down into a forward fold. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Walk or jump your feet back to a plank, a high plank. And as you're exhaling, you're coming down into a low plank. And then inhaling into a cobra, curling your toes and exhaling back into a downward dog. So if you're doing this, you can skip all the high to low planks and just meet us back into a downward dog. You can do the high to low planks on your knees. So you have options for modifications. Inhale, walk your feet forward. On the exhale, into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. All the way up. And all the way back down. Half lift. Bring your hands to the mat. Walk your feet back. High to low plank. On the exhale, inhale into your belly, into the balloon, into a cobra. Exhale back into a downward dog. If you would like, when you do the cobra, you can come into a upward facing dog, which is where you leave the tops of your feet on the mat and keep your knees off the mat. So every time I'm inhaling, I'm coming up on my tiptoes. Every time I'm exhaling, I'm trying to come down on my heels a little bit and push back a little bit with my hands. Inhale, walk your feet forward into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold. All the way up. And all the way back down. Inhale into a half lift. Down to a high to low plank. On the exhale, inhale into the balloon, exhale back into downward dog. We'll do one more of those. And again, we're just trying to use the downward dog to rest a little bit and just to keep moving with your breathing. Good. Inhale, and on the exhale, walk your feet forward. Inhale into a half lift, forward fold, all the way up, all the way down. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale, high to low plank. And again, you're still trying to breathe through your nose. Inhale into an upward facing dog or a cobra, and then back into downward dog. All right, from here, lift up your left foot into a three-legged dog. So you're lifting it up off the air, off the mat, and you're kind of rotating your hips a little. And then you're going to bring your left foot forward. And we're going to drop our right knee. All right, so we're going to do a few poses from this position. Let's start with your hands on your knee. So both hands are on my left knee. And I'm going to inhale, bring my hips back, and exhale, and bring my hips forward. So that will look like this sideways. Inhale, And exhale and rotate or bring your hips forward. So this is something that you'll feel in the front of your right hip and maybe a little bit in the back of your left thigh. But this is primarily a hip flexor opener. The reason we're keeping our hands on our knees for now is to make sure our torso is upright so that we're allowing this to open up a little bit more. If you're able to, you can bring your hands to your hips. Keep your torso upright. Just keep moving back and forth. Now, if you feel like you can, bring your hands up into the air. Inhale, hips back. Exhale, rotate. You can even try looking up, because when you look up and your hands are up, you're creating more of a back bend, and therefore there's more of a pull in the front of your hip. We'll do one more of those. Good. Now, you're going to bring your right hand down, leave your left hand on your knee, and we're going to come into a lizard twist. So the same hip motion is going to be going back and forth on your breath, but we're also going to get our left hand involved in a twist. So we're going to inhale, bring your hip back, and on the exhale, when you're bringing your hips forward, lift your left arm and just keep looking at your left hand as you bring it up as high as you feel like you can. Inhale, bring your hand down, your hips back. Exhale, rotate your spine. Inhale and exhale, and again, keep breathing through your nose. Look up at your hand. Good. Now, bring your left hand down so that both hands are inside your left foot. If you need to, you can be on knuckles, you can be on a block. And now the goal is to be inhaling and doing the same thing with our hips, but now you will feel this much more in your inner left thigh as well. So your hamstrings and your glutes on your left side. Exhale forward. Some crazy people are able to come down onto their elbows in this lizard pose. I don't know how that's possible. Try it, see if you can. Come all the way down. That would break me. Good, we'll do one more. Good, all right. Hands down to the mat, bring your left foot back, curl your right toe under, come into a downward dog. So we're doing tonight hip and core work. Strengthening the core, opening up the hips. Inhale, bring your right foot up this time. Open it up a little and bring it forward. Drop your left knee. And now your hands are on the right side. We're going to inhale into your belly, into the balloon. And exhale, let the balloon deflate. Inhale up. So again, you're trying to keep your torso straight. I'm trying to look forward at a spot on my garage floor as a way of finding balance. So when I look around, they're falling over. Okay, now if you want to, you can get your hands on your hips. If you're able to, sometimes this becomes a balance issue. And now if you're able to, bring your hands up into the air. If you need to, you're also, if you do this again, you can put a pillow or a towel or something underneath your knee to give yourself a little bit more cushion. The whole goal in all of this with the exhale is to simply let gravity do its work. And I'm not trying to force anything. I'm just letting it come to that point where it's like, okay, it's tight. I can feel it. It doesn't want to go anymore. I'm going to relax and let it come down again. And maybe it'll come a little more open. Maybe it won't. All right, now I'm going to bring my left hand down, right hand on my right knee, and we'll do the lizard twists. So again, my inhale, bringing my hips back. The exhale is lifting my right arm up to the ceiling and twisting as best I can. Inhale, exhale. And one more time. Good. Bring your right hand down. And this time we'll be in a full lizard again. And again, you can be on your knuckles. You can be on a block. But it's all about feeling your hips opening and your back of your right thigh. There's a point at which your muscles won't relax anymore. In yin yoga, the point is to hold a pose for several minutes and allow your joints to open absolutely as much as possible. We do not do that here. There's a lot of value in that, but that's a little much. We do that for some recovery days. All right, bring your hands down, bring your right foot back, come into downward dog. So this is when downward dog becomes a rest pose. And again, you're still trying to bring your collarbones down. It will get easier throughout your practice each day. Still a coffee cup, but it's still a little bit more of a V-ish coffee cup. All right, so what we'll do now is, again, lift up your left leg, bring it forward again. This time we're going to drop our back heel and roll up into a warrior one. So in warrior one, we'll set it up for first. Front knee over your front ankle. Ankles are lined up with each other. Your hands can be on your hips. Your hands can be up in the air. That's the goal, is to have them up in the air. The inhale is to open up your hips. The exhale is to rotate your shoulders so that your hips move. So now the pull is more on the inside of my right hip. There's still work being done on my left glute and thigh, but I'm trying to open up my right hip. My right leg is straight, but not locked out. You might experiment with having an easier stance and seeing if you can get your hip moving. You can extend, get a wider stance if you're able to. And I'm not. This is way too aggressive, and doesn't matter. Whatever works for you. Rotate. Okay, so now the inhale, fill up the belly, fill up your balloon, and then exhale and be passive and just let the turning happen. All right, now we're going to inhale. We're going to bring our hands apart into a warrior two. And now I'm trying to get my hips open sideways. And this for me is a lot more challenging. It involves your glutes firing in a little bit different way. Your knee is still over your front ankle. You're feeling a balance of weight between your front and your back leg. You're looking out over your middle finger, your front hand. The inhale is to kind of open. The exhale is to try to open up your hips as you spread your hands apart and your shoulders apart. Now we're going to come into reverse warrior. We're going to bring our left hand up. Right hand can be on our right hip, on our right behind our back, or even on our right thigh. Again, you're trying, like warrior two, you're trying to be flat and have your hips open. So now, not only are my hips opening, but my left side body is opening as well. And exhale. So the inhale is to get your torso straight up and down. The exhale is to roll back. All right, now we're going to come back. Inhale, come back into a warrior two. But this time we're going to inhale, straighten your front leg, and we're going to cartwheel your hands down into a triangle. So a triangle, the goal of it is to have your right shoulder stacked on top of your left, and your both legs straight. And so the inhale is to drop your right shoulder and arm, and the exhale is to lift it up towards the ceiling. So the other goal is to have your left hand on the mat. I don't come anywhere close to that, but this is awkward yoga, and that's the point. Triangle is an incredible pose for your core, for your leg and your hips opening. And now I'm looking up at my upper hand. Good. Now I'm going to roll my hands down to the mat, around my left foot, bring my left foot back and come into, guess what? A downward dog. I'm going to lift up my right foot this time, bring it forward, and come into a warrior one with my right foot forward, my right knee bent. Inhale and rotate forward. The position of your back foot, maybe the ankle, doesn't matter as long as your foot is as flat as it can be. You are just trying to rotate with your torso staying upright. So you can see how powerful warrior one is in terms of opening up your hip muscles. All right, now we're going to inhale. We're going to rotate to a warrior two. So now I'm trying to open and rotate my shoulders and my arms, bring my hips in. And by in, I'm trying to like not bring them, sticking them out or bringing them in forward, but bringing it all together so that my hips are as straight as possible. Inhale into your belly. Good. We're going to come into reverse warrior. Bring your right hand up, left hand back behind you. Your front knee stays bent. And now you can feel the inside of your left hip, like kind of the top of your leg bone. Like, whoa, hello. That's what you're trying to feel. You're just trying to feel the strength and opening in here. The goal of side angle is that your left shoulder comes toward your left knee. That's the direction it's going. It'll never reach there. So I think you'd snap in half. Good. Now we're going to come back into our warrior two. Inhale your front leg straight. Reach with your right hand, cartwheel down into a triangle on this side. And inhale and drop your left and raise it back up. So my legs are both straight. I'm feeling my glutes kind of holding me steady. My right elbow, forearm is against the inside of my right knee. Breathing into my belly and then exhaling. Good. We'll do one more breath here. Good. Now I'm going to cartwheel my hands back down to the mat. Back into a downward dog. All right. We will come into my least favorite pose. And it's my least favorite because it's really a challenge for me. And therefore, I don't like it. However, it's really good. All right, we're going to come into frog pose. In frog pose, you are going to bring your knees as wide as they will go. And then your toes point out. How am I going to come down? All right, then you're going to have both hands in front of you. And maybe you can get your knees a little bit farther apart. The inhale, and I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this better. The inhale is to bring your hips forward, and all the exhale is pushing your butt back. The goal in frog is that, well, the two goals are to have your butt back by your heels and to have your knees completely apart. Again, I don't know how you do that. So it is like so this is all in your inner thighs. Just very gentle, easy movements, because otherwise your hips will snap, crackle, and pop. And we don't want that. All right, we'll do one more breath. All right. Now, roll over on to your seat. But bring your knees. So these are called 90-90s. I need to go the other direction. So I have my right knee forward, and then at the side at a 90-degree angle, and my foot on the side, and then my left knee is coming off to the side, and my calf is coming down. So I've got two 90-degree angles. All right. I'm going to rotate my left hand and look behind me. I'm going to feel a pull on my right thigh. And then we're going to come into my second least favorite exercise. I'm going to roll to my left, my knees. I'm going to try to keep my feet right where they are and just flip my knees. Good Lord. over to the other side and continue my arms moving forward in a rotation. I'm going to come over, flip, and around, flip, and around. So these do become easier. The goal of them is to have both butt cheeks on the mat and to have your torso upright so that you don't need to use your hands behind you. Like that, and I can't do any more of it. So that's your goal. If you can do that, that would be great. I'm going to be happy just flipping my knees around and doing that much. All right, then from here, I'm going to bring both hands behind me and my feet kind of wide on the mat, and I'm going to do windshield wipers. So I'm going to let my both knees fall over to the right. My left knee comes down to my left ankle. I'm going to inhale, bring it back. Exhale, bring my right knee to my left ankle. I may have just said that, but I hope not. Then my left knee to my right ankle. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up and exhale over. And then we'll come into a seated butterfly pose, bringing the soles of your feet together. Knees are wide. You're going to feel this again on the inside of your thighs. But what we'll do here is take a hold of your wrist, your ankles, your foot wrists, and you're going to lift up your knees on the inhale, and on the exhale, let them fall. And inhale up and let them fall. And if you want to, you can inhale up and exhale, lean your torso forward. Just don't pull yourself down. Inhale up and let your torso fall. Inhale up, let your torso fall. One more time. Good. All right. Now from here, roll back. Keep your feet together if you can, and roll back onto your back, and we'll do reclining butterflies. So it'll be the same process. Inhale your knees up. Exhale and let them fall. Inhale up. Exhale and let them fall. Inhale up. Exhale and let them fall. Remember to, this time, inhale, fill the belly up, fill the belly in the balloon belly, the belly balloon, the balloon in your belly. Inhale up. And exhale down. Now we'll come up, your knees up, spread your feet apart, and we'll do windshield wipers reclining. So this time your knees will stay upright. We're going to drop them over to the left. Your right knee comes to your left ankle. Your right butt cheek comes off the mat. Inhale and roll them over to the other side. Your left knee now comes to your left ankle bone, and your left butt cheek comes off the mat. And just roll them back and forth with your breathing. Just let the exhale out when you drop your knees. When you're doing the windshield wipers, you will likely feel a pull in your hip flexors, and that is good. Tight still. All right. Bring your hands around your knees and bring your knees into your armpits. Give yourself a hug around your knees if you're able to. Kind of roll back and forth a little bit. You can grab a hold of your toes, come into a happy baby. And then roll up into a seated position. Hopefully it's a little bit easier to sit like this now. Find your breathing into your belly. This will never make it on camera, so in the final cut, let's inhale. Bring your arms up overhead. Bring your hands together. Bring them down as you exhale. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale up. Scoop up the good energy that you have created by taking care of yourself in this yoga session tonight. Inhale up, collect the good energy, bring it into yourself so that you can bring it to others. Namaste. Thank you for joining us tonight.